Just by a show of hands, obviously we can't see everybody, but just by a show of hands, who has a Moxie Present presentation, be it a listing presentation, buyer presentation, business card that they use regularly? Anybody? Oh, I see a hand. Nice, cool. Well, my thought is, and based on my own personal experience, the consumers, the clients are impressed with the digital presentation. And Moxie gives you the flexibility, if you know how, to produce something that is customized, branded to you specifically, using the Long and Foster content, but wrapped in your theme, your logos, your name, your colors, however you want to present yourself. And you can do that both digital. You could print it out if you wanted to. Some people still like to print this out and put it in a binder of some sort, a 3-ring binder, which is great. You can put it in those plastic sleeves and use it over and over and over again if that's your thing. You could load it up on your tablet, obviously, and or your laptop, and you can take that with you. But the way I have found it to be most successful is via email. And I send this, in fact, in January, I got a call for a CMA, just random call. I have no idea who these people are. And they told me right up front that they were going to be interviewing 3 agents, me and 2 others. And so I said, well, okay, I'll give it a shot because I've got Moxie and it's all so easy. And so I pulled together a CMA pretty quickly. Probably took me, an additional 15 minutes to pull comps and do a little numbers on their place. And I emailed it over to them. Didn't know if I would ever hear back. But 2 days later, they said, you obviously put more effort into this than the other agents did. It was literally, 10 to 15 minutes of my time because I already had the template designed and built. And so that's what I want you guys to have. If you don't have something like that, I think it's tremendously beneficial. It saves you so much time when you already know what you plan to present, and you're not just making it up on the fly at the last minute. And so needless to say, we took the listing, we sold the listing, and it was great. It was a good experience for everybody. And so Moxie was the reason that I got that listing from a perfect stranger competing against other agents. So I'm going to do some screen sharing here. I hope to show you some live examples of how to customize a slide, and you'll have to bear with me. When we were together 2 weeks ago talking about cold calling and the power of social media, that presentation was designed to last 2.5 hours. But when I get nervous, I talk real fast, and so we knocked it out in 30 minutes. So I expect the same thing will happen again today. So hang on. So let me jump over to my screen share where we're. All right, let's see where we're gonna go. So I don't know. Oh, that's a Zoom thing. So obviously we all know how to get to Foster, and this is where we have the fastest, most readily available access to Moxie presentation, to PowerPoint. So I'm going to show you guys some PowerPoint today because that's probably the easiest way to create a totally branded custom presentation. And then I'm going to show you where you can get some blank template slides to incorporate into your Moxie presentation. And so if you should all be familiar with Foster, and of course the top line is all Moxie related, and so we have the Moxie Present icon right here, and then we have our PowerPoint over here on the left. And so we all, as Long and Foster agents, have access to these Microsoft 365 tools, including PowerPoint. So it's no special equipment or special software needed, but this is how we get access to Moxie Present. And so if you're new, you might not have a lot of examples or templates in here, but if you've used this in the past, then your dashboard looks something like this. And so I've got 2 or 3 of these things that I want to share with you just really quickly, and I want to talk about some of what we're able to do. And so probably you know that Long and Foster has a couple of hundred slides already loaded that you can pick and choose from. What you may not know though is some of those slides, and let me just click into this one, for example. Some of those slides are, what you might consider generic, or they don't necessarily fit with the theme that you're going for. And so what I want to show you how to do is take the content, because the content that Long and Foster gives us is great, but we want to wrap that in our own image. And so what I want to show you how to do is take that content and wrap it in our own colors and branding and such as that. And so you've got a couple of different ways to add a page to your presentation. You start with a blank, let me start back here. And I apologize if I bounce around a little bit, you guys. I want to move, let me move this out of the way. And so over on the right, the top right, you can see this create new button. And so let's say you create new. If you're not necessarily doing a buyer presentation or a seller presentation, I would encourage you strongly to do what I refer to as your digital business card. It's just something very casual in nature. Maybe it's a biography or an autobiography in this case. Maybe you include some pictures of the family or some testimonials. Just a really casual way to introduce yourself to someone that you don't necessarily know or know well. And so in that case, you might use this non-listing presentation right here, because when you create that, it doesn't bring up all of the additional pages with CMA and stuff like that. You don't have to go look for comps or anything. And so I have that right here, but I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to show you guys this. Let me move your heads out of the way here. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Well, let me put you up here. So I don't know what your screen looks like, but mine is kind of weird. All right, so here is obviously this is a standard Long and Foster slide, and then what I've done is I added, and I don't know if you guys know this or not, but you can create a video, upload it to YouTube, and then create a brand spanking new slide and insert your video, right? And so that's what I did here. And when you, of course, email this to somebody, it plays just like it would if they were
Good morning. Thank you
on
for taking
YouTube.
a few minutes to learn more about the power and the strength of Moxi Present. I want to show you how to customize it to make it fit you and your brand, incorporating the tools and the slides from Long and Foster with the versatility and the strength of PowerPoint. Together, you can do something that is completely your own, something that you can be proud of, and something that will inspire you and give you the confidence you need to go out into the world and share it with everybody.
Click. So that's one example, I think, of an opening, right? Because we all know at this point that video is king, right? If you're not doing video, you're probably missing out. And so I think it's a great idea to open any presentation with a video. And so this is an example of a slide. It's a generic slide that I grabbed off of PowerPoint, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But the point of this was to show you how you can incorporate not just Long and Foster template slides, but your very own customized slides. And so also, when you create new pages inside of Moxi, and I'll show you how to do this, you can create them, what I thought was really cool, as long as you want. It doesn't have to be, your standard 6x9 slide. It can go on and on and on and on. You could literally have one slide that is essentially a one-page website, a one-page presentation. And so, what I wanted you to grab here was all of the different layouts. So obviously I'm holding up the lighthouse in North Carolina there. It's getting ready to fall over. But you can incorporate video and images and font and text and pictures, more video, logos, images. So you can create this slide as long as you want, and you can format it in a dozen different ways. You could have 4 boxes down here. You could have 1 box right here that maybe houses your video. And so this type of versatility, I think, should allow you to do most anything that you want to do within the Moxi platform. And then it's so easy, you guys. Once you've created something, it's so easy to send it out. Just, text the link or email the link, and they'll watch it in a full screen version, hopefully on a tablet or a laptop, something like that. This is a generic slide inside of the presentation that Long and Foster gives us, right? And so most of the slides are similar to this in that the content is excellent, but the presentation may not necessarily fit with our brand. And so what I wanted to do, and what I did here, is I took the content off of this page and I added it to a different template, right? So it's the same information, just laid out and wrapped in a color and a style that you might prefer. And there are hundreds and hundreds of these themes within PowerPoint, and I'll show you those, right? And so what does Long & Foster have to offer you that other brokers don't? Well, Jason Gooden, of course. And then, of course, that wasn't necessarily on the original slide, but I added it. So, and then, so this is another example, right? Basically it's the same content. I added my name to it. You're gonna add your own personal touch to these slides, and I think that's what's so cool about it. Again, here's the same content but laid out differently, and PowerPoint will allow you to do this sort of thing, right? And so I'll show you in just a minute how to do that. You might want to do something totally specific, totally your own, right? And so this is a generic template that I went online and found last night at breakthroughbroker.com. And I'll show you guys that. And they've got a bunch of different choices. And it literally took me 15 minutes probably to insert my name, image, and logo. And then the rest of the whole thing's done. So in less than an hour, you could have something that you feel good about and that you're proud of. So, okay. So let me get out of this one and show you what that might look like if you did it for yourself. So this is the slide that we were just looking at a minute ago, right? And then this is more of the generic presentation that I pulled off of Breakthrough Broker. And so if you guys aren't familiar with Breakthrough Broker, I'm sure probably most of you are. They've been around a long time and they give us a lot of free tools. So I think every real estate agent needs to be, on a first name basis with a Breakthrough Broker. They're very, very cool. But let's say, for example, that, you weren't really keen on this. What I want you to know here is that every detail of this slide is customizable. You can change absolutely any aspect, or like you'll see in just a second, you can completely delete the content on this slide and add your own personal touch to it, which is what I did here. Not there, maybe. Well, where did it go? So what I did is I took all of the content off of this page and I laid on top of this background this, because I like this Long and Foster home selling process a lot better. And so you can snip this image out of a Long and Foster slide and then lay that over top of this dark gray image. And of course, you're going to size it appropriately so that, it fits. within the way that you want to display it. So let me go back here. Okay. And so let's see, let me just go in here real quick and look for that. I just did it this morning, so maybe I didn't save it. So, well, you guys get the idea. The idea is to take the content off of the generic slides that Long and Foster gives us and put it onto a custom slide. And so one of the ways that you can do that is by using Breakthrough Broker and all of the templates that they give us access to. And so in this example, you just want to choose the theme or the color that works with you and your brand. And then you upload your own image and you upload the Long and Foster logo, of course. And then you can download these presentations as a PowerPoint. And when you download them in a PowerPoint, that's when it really, really opens up. And you have so many cool things that you can do with that. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second so that I can jump over and grab my PowerPoint example. Hey, you're still there. Nobody left. Damn. So, all right. Let's see. All right. So now you guys hopefully are seeing the PowerPoint. And so again, this is what I downloaded from Breakthrough Broker. And so over on the left, if we wanted to customize or edit or tinker with one of these slides, what we'll do is we'll just right click on it and we'll say duplicate slide. And then hopefully you can tell over here on the left hand side, it recreated an identical copy of this exact slide. And so now I can go in here and I can start to tinker with any of these objects or any of this content. Obviously, you know, you might want to personalize this. This is me, you know, 2003, 13, 15, 17, whatever. But you guys are going to personalize and customize this information for your own and make it personal, right? And so you can just delete it and you can delete anything, any aspect of this slide you can get rid of. So you can get rid of the whole thing, you know, if that's what you want to do. So you can change this. So it's really, really cool. It's got a lot of versatility, and hopefully, you know, this is something that you guys will get excited about. If for example, you wanted to go in and create your own totally, you know, maybe you want to mix and match some of these slides, or better yet, maybe you want to go in and you want to do, hopefully you guys are seeing this, right? So let's say, for example, we like, let's say we like this one. So inside of PowerPoint, they have a whole slew of these templates that you can customize and create with, right? So we're just going to say Long and Foster, Foy, Foster, right? And we're going to say Jason Gooden, right? And then what we got to do is, well, first of all, we're going to save this and we're going to save it. Okay. But then what we want to do is we want to save as an Adobe PDF. So this is the part that you need to hang on to. So save as an Adobe PDF, and then you figure out where you want to save it. I'm just going to drop it on the desktop, right? Okay, so now it's on my desktop. So now what I want to do, I'm going to close this. All right, and I'm going to go back to Moxi, and yeah, hopefully that's not it. It's not as easy as it looks to share these screens. So bear with me. Thank you for your patience. Okay, let's see. Okay, maybe. Okay, you guys, are you seeing the breakthrough broker now? Yes. You seeing Moxie? That's what we want, right? Okay. All right, so you guys should be seeing my Moxie dashboard at this point. And what I want to do and what I want to show you how to do is go in here and add this new page that we just created. We're going to go to create new. See that right there? So we're going to go to create new. We're going to upload. And what's cool about this too is you guys, you can upload 20 pages at a time. And so one of my presentations happens to be like 40 pages or something. And so you can enable, you can upload 20 pages at a time. So I had to do two, right? I uploaded two packages inside of the same presentation. And that way I had all 40 of my pages together in the specific, in the presentation the way I wanted it. And of course, I'll show you in a second here after this uploads that you can drag and drop these pages in any way that you want. All right, so we are uploading our brand new slides, right? Yes. Yeah. So it's quick, it's easy. You know, I think most of us could do this after, you know, figuring it out and clicking around a little bit. You're not going to break it. Um, and so I think it's really, really cool that we have this kind of versatility and flexibility inside of the presentation software. And I really think that everybody should have their generic business card digital presentation in addition to a default or a standardized listing presentation and a standardized buyer presentation or consultation, right? Listing consultation, buyer consultation. Those are great terms as well. Because especially in this time of social distancing, right, we don't necessarily get together the way we did, you know, a year ago. So, but if you put something together like this that you're proud of and you email it out or text it out, I think it really presents you in a really good position. And I've got several examples of, you know, times when I've used this and it makes a really, really good impression on your clients. Any questions at this point?
So I do have a question.
Yeah, man.
So with the PowerPoint and everything, so you just research different websites and everything to find like different presentations that other people have done, and then you can like mold that and save it to Moxie itself?
You can, yeah, absolutely. So,
Okay.
and so Breakthrough Broker is a great platform because they do offer that free content that it's really easy to fill out and then download it. As you save it as a PDF and then you upload it into Moxie like we did there. And I mean, you could probably find them at other sites as well. You know, you just want to make sure that you're able to download it or get it as a PDF. Because you can only upload PDFs into Moxie.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So, questions, comments, concerns? Let me go back to, let's see. All right, cool. So, again, I don't have any more to say. So somebody better ask a question or I'm signing off.
Well, I think this is, like you said, wonderful to actually prepare and save.
Yeah.
And then you'll always have something that you can send right away to somebody as soon as they contact you. And you can once again go in and make it specific to that person by just adding another slide with a little message to them particularly, or just change the name on the message that you've already got saved to send to someone else. But wow,
right.
this would be great, Jason. Thank you.
That's right. That's right. No, it's really, really cool that we can take the content that Long and Foster gives us and then wrap it in our own brand and theme. You know, and it's not that difficult. And I think, you know, in my experience, not enough people, not enough agents are taking advantage of this tool. And so I knew I definitely wanted to talk about it because it's so much more versatile and user-friendly than I think people expect it to be. And most of us, you know, for a long time, I mean, it probably was a couple of years, and I thought, well, you know, they only provide us this set of slides, and so it's not really customized to me or my experience. It doesn't talk about my testimonials. It doesn't talk about my past sales. You know, there's so much that it doesn't include in those generic slides provided by the company. And so what I thought was really, really cool is how we can, you know, take that content um, and you know, wrap it in our own theme. And so if you guys haven't seen this before, when you send this to somebody and they open it up in the web view, this is what it looks like then, right? And so this is the old one that I did a long time ago. And you can see it's got the old logos and stuff like that. But this was the listing presentation that I sent over in January. You know, you can obviously customize this any way that you want to. And this is what won me that listing though, back in January. So I'll just scroll through here a little bit.
Even just to reiterate what you were talking about, even with the templates that are already created, you can add the same stuff that you just did for this one. So if you're working on a buyer presentation or a seller presentation, you can always add your own stuff. Create your PowerPoint, add those slides into the already created templates that are there for you.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And so you can mix and match. You can add to, you can take away, you can edit. So obviously this is a little bit older, but it still worked in January. So yeah. So that's the idea, guys. I wanted you to kind of see what is possible with Moxi Present and PowerPoint together. You know, you could probably put something nice together in a couple of few hours that you feel confident in sending out, and it will fit just about any situation. So buyers, sellers, you know, people in the grocery store, just send them a link.
Right.
Look, I did it again. I took a 2-hour presentation, knocked it down to 30 minutes. So
I think the main thing is, and I know this is definitely with me and Station, everybody that knows me and my technical non-ability. I think it's just taking the time to go in and play around with it, like any program, until you kind of figure out what works, what doesn't work. You get a little familiar each time you go in and you do something else and just practice.
Practice.
It takes away the, oh my God, I'm scared to death to even try because I have no idea what I'm doing.
that's right.
So that's what I would suggest for folks who are kind of struggling and not sure how to do it, just to go in and play around with it and see. They have wonderful tutorials also. Now, do they have a good customer service line also? I know that Carol Castillo, who is kind of my Moxi ambassador, she said, Candy, they have the most wonderful customer service line that if you get stuck, you can actually call Moxi and they'll walk you through it, which she uses a whole lot. Have you had to reach out to him, Jason?
I have heard that before, but no, I've never called them.
So it's kind of like the help desk for our situation.
Yeah.
You have a help desk for Moxi that
That's
you
right.
can go to also, and they'll kind of walk you right through what you're trying to get accomplished.
which is excellent. Yeah, excellent. Hey, listen, you guys, Candy, maybe what I'd like to do is maybe ask all of you what I can do, in a couple of weeks when we get together. Is there anything specifically, maybe we could take a poll, is there any topic or technology or tool that you would like a better understanding of, something that I can, focus my attention on the next time we get together. So I know we've got some recent Real Scout updates, which are pretty exciting. And we could always talk about Moxie Engage because a lot of people are still confused by that. So that's
Right.
definitely something that we could put on the list.
Maybe how they have the campaigns and how
Yeah,
they set up a campaign. I see Lori shaking her head. I think because if you can set up your campaigns and have them going out for you without you thinking about it,
yeah, it's
let's face
critical.
it, setting it up is one thing, but once you do it, boy, it sure saves you a lot of time and effort.
It's critical. Yeah, it's a must, I think, in today's world.
Mhm.
Because, unfortunately, we're not the only ones with technology at our fingertips. And so we have to take advantage of it just to stay competitive.
Right.
And so, yeah, campaigns is a great point that we could definitely explore. So
Okay.
you guys feel free to send over any suggestions or, recommendations. Don't send over any criticism. I don't want to hear. No,
Oh, well, I'll be certain to make sure those get forwarded to you. Someone had suggested how to do a good CMA.
yeah, okay.
Ah, that's
Yeah.
a great one.
So maybe we could pick a property address and kind of walk through the CMA process together. Um, you know, most of us, I think, still use, James said yes. So I think most of us still use RAIN to conduct our CMA. And then we pull our comps over into Moxie in order to present that information.
Right.
I've always, found that that's the best way to do it.
So do you use the Presentation Pro listing
Yes,
and then you just pull and then you just pull your comps in from
I
Rain? So that
do.
would be a great, I
Yeah,
mean, because really folks, this Presentation Pro is fabulous. Like you said, if you can just get your basic listing presentation, the slides the way you want it, then all you have to do is click on it. It's already there for you. And all you have to do is import the comps that you're using and it puts it all together for you in like 10 minutes, 5 minutes. It's
exactly.
crazy fast.
Exactly. That's exactly what I did in January to win that listing. It didn't take
Hmm.
any time at all
Right.
because everything was there except for my comps. I had to pull that information together and come up with what I thought was the right price.
Right.
And that didn't take any time. So yeah, I think that would be a great topic.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, very cool. So, well, I can't thank you guys enough for being here. I'm surprised every time I come back to this screen and you're still here. So, thank you.
Well, thank you. And folks, thank you for taking the time to be here and improving your skills a little bit. And we'll look forward to, now, the next time we see you is the second Wednesday in October.
It
Right.
will be the 14th.
So 14th, I'll make sure to send everybody a link for Jason on the 14th.
However, Candy,
Uh-huh.
next Wednesday, it's an off Wednesday. And so my hope is to have a guest speaker from Bay Environmental. And we haven't got that confirmed yet, but they
Okay.
do a lot with oil tanks, underground oil.
That would be great. Yeah.
And so we've had to take advantage of their services a couple of times this year. And they have offered to come on to a meeting and talk to us more about the services they provide and what it takes to remediate an underground or a buried oil tank, and
Okay.
how much that
That
sort
would
of
be great information if we could
yeah.
jump in on that too. I'd appreciate it.
So
I'm looking around also and I've got a couple of people that I've reached out to. I know rarely does it happen, but I think it would be good information to have that if your buyer ever wanted to have a lead-based paint inspection,
mm,
they would understand what the cost, kind of the process would be. We had one a few years back where the buyer even got soil samples from the yard because they wanted to have a garden and they had small children. They want to make sure there was no lead in
yeah,
the dirt. But that may be something great too, that if I can put that together, I'll sure send out to you and we can
Yeah.
just include everybody and everything. And I
Yeah,
think
that sounds good.
Well, be the smartest people in the world.
That sounds good. You know, in all my years, I've never had a buyer get a lead-based paint inspection.
And this inspection was at an old house on Clay Street down in Suffolk.
Okay.
And it was a flip. Some firefighters who had a little company, they bought it, they took it down to the studs. I mean, it was absolutely gorgeous. But the buyer who was purchasing it was a very young couple, like I said, with a couple small kids, and they were extremely worried about lead-based paint and that sort of thing. So they did have not only the house tested, but the yard also. And I think it was like $1,500. It was not cheap to do. But the process was interesting because of what the sellers had to do to get ready for the inspection to make sure that there were no dust particles or anything else in the house when they put the air quality little machine in there, and it has to sit in for a couple of days and test the air quality and stuff. So I think that would be a real cool subject also.
Yeah, that could be good too. Absolutely.
Okay.
So cool. Well, you guys
Excellent.
keep us in mind if you meet interesting people. We always
Oh yeah, sure will. I'll
enjoy
let you know and you let me know and we'll zoom ourselves right into, that's why I've got a picture of the earth. I feel like I'm out in twilight zone somewhere. I figured I'm the rocket person, you know, Rocket Man, that song, John.
Yes, that's right.
I'm Rocket Lady or whatever it is right now.
Very cool. Well, it was a pleasure seeing you guys. Hope you have a great day and a great week.
Thank you. So good seeing everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.